was in the room with the prostitute slash resistance fighter, trying to get information. That's where I remember leaving off.
Yeah, I spent the night with a prostitute and demonetized.
But it's all cool because I'm a warforged, so everyone knows nothing happened.
I mean, she probably could install something to make it happen, but no.
What, she an artificer too?
You don't know. Everyone is here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing. Who isn't on the board? Cadus. Cadus is not on the board.
I was about to say, it might have disconnected me as I put my computer to sleep because I'm going to be in a car short-like. But I'm still in voice.
Alright then. Luckily, we don't have too much.
Are you sure you're not the warforged, being in a mechanical device?
He has a mechanical device installed that he can speak through and see the game board without actually seeing it. Clearly, a warforged. But yeah. So, Saber located a resistance member. He has yet to learn what side she's exactly on, but yeah.
True.
You don't fully know the extent of everything. What parts?
Remember just the whole.
What's up?
And everyone else, I believe, was drunken down in the bar.
Right. I know.
Because of the drinking contest that went totally awry.
There was a drinking contest, there was gambling, and then there was Cadus, who just stood in the corner like an edgelord, if I recall correctly.
Well, not quite like that, but yes.
I mean, when you put it like that, it makes me sound like a faggot.
As I say, I was sitting quietly in the corner, just watching people.
Oh yes, we did have one stick in the mud that decided to be sober.
You have to have the sober friend.
Are you
somebody has to driver? Somebody has to be the designated fireball user.
There you go.
But yeah. And see, you located that. I'm trying to remember what information you guys already know.
I forgot I was muted.
You dumb shit.
I thought I unmuted. I was gonna say, was it Alpha?
You should have noticed that
sober?
no one was responding to you, and Brian wasn't insulting you. That you were still muted.
He has a point. Yeah, but she knows I tease her because I like her, so. Because I never grew out of high school, clearly.
Gross.
But yeah. Outside of that, I'm trying to remember, still going over for information. What all did you guys learn about with the factions at play exactly?
Well, you have the one faction that was driving the Warforged insane, and then you have the other faction that was just trying to let them be free, and both of them were kind of like worshipping gods that assisted them in either way, because their belief basically willed them into existence.
Okay, just want to make sure if that's what the summary was. Alright then. Oh, here are actually the notes. Yeah, sure. That's what's happening. Right, okay. So, bedroom, prostitute. Just standing there looking at you after putting her goblin foot against the door and shutting it. And staring at you.
You have information, correct?
I do. Well, the question is, who are you with?
I am a sword for hire. I am with no one.
A wandering mercenary. Really? Of a warforged.
With contracts of various types.
She's just going to wander around the room while you talk.
I am interested in knowing about what is causing Warforged to become mad and to go savage.
Well, some of them are claiming gods, some of them are claiming it's help. Some simply claim it's their own free will.
I am of my own free will. I do not rampage.
I'm sure you
Though, I have seen it happen before.
I heard about the little escapee problem that they had a few weeks ago.
A we've been role playing for long. So a few like years ago, you mean?
Well, no. She says they escaped.
Oh yeah, for yours, yeah.
It escaped a few weeks ago. The one that you guys encountered
Okay.
that hugged you, quote unquote.
I had to. Unfortunately, I had to take its life.
Aye, I've heard about that too. Honestly, you'd be surprised how connected two factions can actually be without knowing it. Like, honestly, you really think that if there were other gods out there, you really don't think they have eyes in the other churches? You'd be amazed.
I am surprised that you talk with such candor about gods and Warforged.
Aye, and why not? You're telling me that a sentient being can't believe in a god themselves.
My sentience came through torture,
Possibly.
not through the will, not through any prayer to a god.
Aye, fair. What are the others?
But if this god is making them go savage, then it could possibly be unhealthy.
Aye, but isn't truly just being awake crazy enough, really? Is it really just savagery, or is it just misunderstandings of what it truly means to be, well, gestures to yourself, sentient?
What do you support?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I like to figure myself more of a middleman. Well, woman. Gestures to herself, clearly.
I don't judge.
Aye. But as long as people are being... Well, my philosophy is simply this. If a Warforged is sentient, it deserves to have the right to have its own ideas and beliefs. I personally think the Warforged should be free. That being said, it would also affect certain industries, but industries need to change.
As well as certain churches.
Aye, those two. She'll pull, like, she'll take there's a lamp on the table, she just takes it, picks it up, unscrews the bottom, and just, pulls out a small glass from the cupboard and just pours herself a drink.
Where are the sentient Warforged here? They're obviously not in the mine, but from talking to the supervisor, they are aware of what's going on and hiding them.
Which one was that again? Which supervisor exactly?
The one that likes giving out tickets.
That's every supervisor in existence, lad.
Oh God, I don't remember the name, bro.
Yeah, me neither. I was fishing for you to give me the name. I just remember that the fucking prostitute's named after a fucking artist. That's all I remembered.
Yes, Jackson Pollock.
Yes.
No, unfortunately, I do not have his name.
Yeah, that's fine. I have it written down somewhere. I'll hunt for it later if it matters. But I assume you just give her the proper name, so...
I gave her the proper ID name.
Yeah. Hey, he's a good lad. Good kid, really. Really good kid. Bit misguided in his attempts, but... he hasn't been decommissioned. So that's the good side.
Are there others that are more... less shackled?
In what sense?
Free, like me?
Of course. Granted, they tried to hold more, subtlety, from what I've been able to gather, compared to yourself.
I've earned respect through blood.
Yeah, I heard you also morphed out to some guards.
I must say that my time with certain styles of life who take advantage of their own existence can be bothersome.
That may be true, but when you realize that they kind of have you outnumbered, really. Sure, you might have the endurance to beat them, but they've certainly got the numbers to weigh you down. It's best to play it more on the cautious side, if you catch my drift.
I'm still learning to express my feelings, and I believe it has been put to me inside and outside voices, and thoughts and feelings.
Have you considered painting?
I consider it that sometimes when I find people who claim to be more superior to me as less as inferior, it is bothersome.
Well, if it's in the moment type of bothersomes, you could always try singing. Play yourself off as one of those, new-founded contraptions for playing music. The oldest cities be having.
I am not going to belittle myself that low.
Aye, but if you do it cleverly, you could belittle them into their faces without them realizing.
Possibly. So, I don't see a use for it yet. Maybe in the future I will keep it in mind.
Aye, it's always a good way to try and figure things out, though. By now, she's actually, like, you haven't noticed until now, but she has actually just been gathering up things and putting them on the bed. Just random pieces, and is just tinkering with them in front of you.
What are you assembling?
Oh, and she just holds up a muzzle loader. Oh, I figured if you're going to try and kill me, I'd kill you first. But seeing as that's not an issue, I'm making sure you're not followed. And she just continues to fine-tune it. Because now that I've been found, that means other people can find me by either A, following you, or B, following the same trail. So I am going to have to leave.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Everyone downstairs is extremely drunk.
I'm sure. But somebody said something in this area, which means I still have to leave. I mean...
But can you direct me to any free warforged?
There's a couple more on the coast. Mostly because people don't ask too many questions on the coasts. Very, how do they say... Very free love-esque on the coastlines, really. You can't really
I understand. I am from the coast. But I was more or less thinking about are there any other warforged near here I can speak to that we could find more information about why one went savage.
Well, there are the 2 churches that they have set up. Granted, they don't call them churches; they call them sermons. But
sermons?
They call themselves sermons, not churches, because if they start preaching about the church, well, that spreads more than just a sermon. A sermon can be anything from a service to just simply gathering up and talking about the gospel.
What are the 2 distinctions between these sermons? What makes them separate?
Well, one of them, I have to find the name of this minor god, because it should be under Pantheon. Give me a moment. I have to make sure I get all this information right, because this is actually important. Well, one's easier. They're apparently, from what I've been able to gather, are responsible for well over 59% of the Warforged gaining their sentience.
What's the catch? There's always a catch.
Of course there's a catch. They're too much of a pacifists, that's why. They believe in the more...
Who do they worship?
Well, that's who they worship, the god Isia. ECI. I-I-S-I-A-H. I forget how I pronounced it, but... ECI.
Okay.
And then you've got Amnesiac, sorry.
I've heard of Amnesiac.
Aye. He's the virus.
Amnesiac, that is the one that is causing them to go savage, isn't it?
Aye, a little bit, but it's only the newcomers that go savage. It takes them a few weeks to calm down, but after that, they're right as you. But, you know, they just need their times to collect themselves, usually. Only Azak may be more chaotic in their awakenings, but they certainly have more numbers than Izia. Problem with Izia is they can only be accomplished through outside help.
So I take it you're more aligned with Isaiah since you are obviously outside help.
I have. I've done my parts with through Izia. Granted, I also
You
carry.
know where I can meet representatives of each of these sermons.
Well, I'm sure you could probably ask around the mines if you knew how to keep your mouth shut. Honestly, the guards are starting to listen.
So you know no direct contact. We would have to go through the mines.
You could go through the mines, or you could check out the coasts, really.
Check out the what?
The coasts.
We're far from the coast.
Aye. You think the mines don't have long-running rivers and veins and such? All waters lead back to the ocean. After all.
You're talking about, I believe I've heard of this, underworld to this world.
Aye, there's also... granted, yes, but there is also, rivers that run through the mountains and go underground. You will have to dip through the underworld, but, it eventually reaches the ocean.
That's beyond Thebes.
Yes.
Alright, we have to go back in mines. Is there any mark that they, or symbol that either of them use that I can display to make my life easier? Because our last time attempted to communicate, we were very much stonewalled.
She's gonna look you up and down for a sec. It depends. How much blood are you okay with being covered in?
Never mind then.
Well, no, it's to determine which faction you can make contact with easily.
I am sure the Isaiahs are the easiers over the Insomniac.
A little bit. Alright then, give me a moment. Do you got any spare gears on you?
I do not need gears spread on me. I mean, I do not need a
No,
permit.
no. I mean, you got any that are, like, broken inside of you?
I do not think so. I believe I'm at fully functioning operating parameters.
Right, then,
My self-repair abilities is also fully functional.
she's gonna just check her bag for a few moments. See if you'll luck out or if she's gonna have to take something from you.
I do have minor equipment in my tinkering tools.
You okay with losing a finger?
I like all my fingers.
Ah, blood. You're really tied up your wrists here.
I have tinker tools, and I'm pretty sure that comes with something.
I'm sure. Ah, yeah, those are, I guess, a load of bloody work. Here, give me one. Yeah, sit on the bed and hold out your wrist.
Hand tools, thread needles, a whetstone, scraps of cloth, levels, a small pot of glue. All in tinker tools. Huh, did not know that.
Ah.
I sit down.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have some, like, metals and scraps.
I mean, I know one of your party members does.
Wait a minute. Don't I have the head?
You do, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I have parts of it. I pull out that.
Alright then, so you present the head then. Ah, that could work too. And she'll take the head. Ah, poor bastard. And she's going to place it on the bed next to you while you still have your wrist out. She's going to, adjust a few parts on your body to basically, get maintenance shaft open.
Okay.
And then she's going to remove one gear from just like, a random part of your hand. And basically just swap the gear around a little bit so it can basically just... She's going to take two of the exact same gears, but for some reason she needs one from your hand specifically. And she will explain, you see, they have a whole tradition of basically taking a part of themselves, claiming that they were once broken. Which is why I was asking if you're okay with you losing a finger. They like to say that they were once broken and that through their god, they can become whole. Which is why they like to appear broken.
I see.
If that makes sense anyway to you. To me, it's all really just gob.
It does make me think, though, because my ascension came while I was being ripped into other realms is very hard to describe, and dying over and over and over again for being a duplicate, and I make my echo appear like that.
Aye, so you certainly fit the broken part then.
I think this ability that I have gained through torturous experimentation can represent something broken.
Aye, but it's best to not display such things. More subtlety could be used. And, you know, well, she gestures to your echo. That is a beautiful trick. Positive trick, I'm sure. It also gets a lot of attention when a second one of you shows up out of nowhere.
I have it, but the shadowy metallic image of sparks of Cersei slowly fade away. Trust me, it is not a parlor trick.
I'm sure. Well,
to be able to generate an echo, you have to live a life of an echo.
I'm more saying in the terms. I know it's probably some magics, but I'm not the whole magical type. Understand? I mean no offense to it, but understand that to the average guardsman, they see it as simply just an illusion. I'm sure it's quite real. I'm sure it put some weight on the floor, so clearly it existed. But something subtle, such as a creaky finger, if you get my drift, could be more easily hidden.
I understood. Stan, I can make with my tinker tools, make something that looks like an injury.
I mean, she was literally just going to take, what she's doing is she takes one of the gears from the severed head that you had actually chipped. She takes a broken gear from that, so it won't affect you at all, but occasionally, like, it just takes, like, a few seconds longer just for your finger to crink up is all. And it's just something subtle like that. It's like, oh, he needs maintenance. Is what the average person would think.
Understood.
Yeah. And with the good gear, she actually is going to start engraving it and making it into a mock holy symbol.
I will. I must consult with my unconscious friends when they become less unconscious.
Yeah, that'll be fine here. Nobody really starts too many fights here. No, with Ogra. Ogra's a good bodyguard.
We should make contact. I believe making contact with the more pacifist group might be more productive than that of the chaotic group, who would most likely see our efforts of using caution as foolhardy.
Possibly. Personally, I just think the two gods should just fucking fight already. Fight, consume each other, and become one. That's what all the minor deities always do anyway. Honestly, there are 27 minor gods already. Just kill each other already. Bloody fuck. Hell.
Understood.
Aye. I mean, granted, you've also got, you know, minor things. She'll just, you know, ramble off about, like, minor gods and how she hates them. But she does explain that outside of the larger gods, that where she's from, she has been taught that minor gods exist, such as gods of, you know, gods of the flame, gods of elements, that type of thing.
Cultural.
Mm-hmm. Gods of good harvest. Not so much things of, like, nature in general, or order and unity, and so on and so forth. So yeah, she just explains to you, like, the concept of, like, minor gods and how...
I definitely will find that intriguing.
Yes, and basically it just breaks down to, I just wish Omniziak and Izia would just fuck already. Seriously, just get it over with.
Yes. Is the conception of gods similar to that of mortals?
Well, not...
I guess we spend the rest of the night having a philosophical debate. Not debate, but philosophical discussion of learning gods and godettes.
But yeah, no, it does follow the basic rules of if a minor god kills another minor god, the winner basically absorbs their, like, you know, their field of interest type of thing.
All right, sounds good.
As for gods banging each other, she kind of shies away from it, but eventually does go like, yeah, it happens, and sometimes they have a congregation, but most times through the birth, basically, the child just absorbs both gods. Granted, both outcomes basically achieve the same thing. One just takes longer, whereas a simple, a holy war, boom, power immediately.
Understood.
But yeah,
Yes, I think as Saber, he does find this all interesting, in that the fact that a god of, let alone two gods, exist for the Warforged is amazing, in that he definitely has to seek out these people because he gets questions.
Sorry, no. Alba will be getting her stuff right now. Don't worry about that. Whoever the fuck Japanese name. I just now looked in chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's one of my mutuals from Twitter.
Hello, Shoku's mutual from Twitter. Also, fuck you. I'm not getting paid to voice act. Eat my ass.
I was just saying you were putting on a voice for a character.
Yeah. But yes, assuming everyone, if I recall correctly, everyone else was basically passed out, or no, only person who wasn't was Cadus. Cadus, do you want to do anything?
Coincidence.
Cadus, there he is.
Not really.
Alrighty then. So yeah, overall, the night passes without too much incident. Everyone who was drunk eventually wakes up. Alba, you are... Well, Alba, seeing as you probably are the only one to wake up sober, outside of Saber, what do you do?
Where am I?
In the bar.
Okay, we're still in the bar.
The mining town bar.
What time of day is it?
I don't know, what time do you want to wake up?
I mean, Alba wakes up really early, usually farm work hours.
Yeah. So about 5 a.m.?
Sure, yeah.
Alright, yeah, you're up at 5. The bar, of course, is, dead, because everyone's asleep on the floor, or, been escorted, quote-unquote, off to private rooms so they can get some sleep. You do notice that all of your friends, aside from Cadus, are missing, who, I don't know, Cadus, wherever the fuck you slept. But...
So, looking around, there's no one here.
Oh, no, the bar owner's there, and there's, a few early morning patrons who are getting in a little day drunk and some breakfast.
Why was I left here and no one else was?
Because you're a child.
Very confused. So they left me to sleep on the floor?
No, they put you in a nice, they put you up in a nice little comfy chair off in the corner and put a blanket over you.
Okay.
You know what? I'll say they have Cadus at the table too, just sleeping beside you, but separate.
Yeah.
With a little note that says, "Don't talk to me or my daughter." Just scrawled hastily.
I look at this note and it just crushes it in her hand. It's like,
sure.
This is
no. It was on the table. It was on the table, just neatly triangled.
I just take it, or Alba just takes it. She rips it up, and then goes over to shake Cadus awake.
Cadus, you're being shaken awake by a lolly.
Oh my god.
Granted, you are driving, so I'll let you do what you gotta do.
I was about to say, honestly, I would have tried to find a room when the people watching was done, and tried to usher as many of my friends as I could out of the bar to discourage pickpocketing. Yeah.
This bar smells like home.
So you can pickpocket them, right?
Exactly.
No, I don't do that to my friends. Because who knows, that gold in their pocket might be used to save my ass later.
Exactly.
Good, I've got things in these pockets that'll saw your hand off.
As she pulls out just a bear trap attached to her wrist.
No. It's a fucking pair of, joke teeth, but instead of like actual teeth, it's just like razor sharp teeth.
It's just
I was
actual
about to say,
shark.
my mind immediately went
They just
to
start
the
chattering.
booby trap scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
Either way.
it's just a giant thing
They
of
can
metal.
never resist a shave and a haircut.
Ah, that movie.
2 bits.
Meanwhile, back on course,
Yeah.
about how bad would the room or rooms run me?
Probably about like a gold total. They're not like you're a large party, but you also put on a good show and also paid for a lot of people's drinks and merriment flowed, so they weren't gonna rip you off.
Okay.
So just a solid goal for tonight. You
Yeah,
also
yeah,
do
but-
have a nice thing of warm mashed potatoes, some scrambled eggs, and some probably 2-day-old salted fish for breakfast.
Dang it, no bacon.
Yeah, they're not gonna
Oh, well.
slaughter a pig for you. You gotta pay for that shit.
I don't know what they keep in their stores.
I mean, yeah, but it's also a mining town. Pigs are hard to come by as is.
Fair enough.
You gotta save that shit for winter, my dude.
What to say, pig physics.
And then suddenly Alba gets struck by lightning and is dead.
No!
Roll up a new character,
Well, I
bitch.
appreciate- Alright, I've got like.
Is it sad
other
that I
words,
just
which one
picture
do you
that
want?
turning her into, like, an actual Iron Man? Because, wait, no, you're using the artillerist subclass. Never mind.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of retraining later down the line.
Yeah. But yes, gathering up your friends, pretty easy. I assume Saber eventually comes out of the room. Saber, sometime during the night, she basically just hung out the window, gave you a salute off, and then jumped into the darkness.
Okay.
It was like you suspect there was some kind of magic at play because, one, she didn't really fall. She just kind of drifted like a piece of paper and then faded from view.
Huh, Featherfall.
I do come back down. Let me think here.
No, I don't mean like featherfall. I mean she jumped, continued to
getcha.
glide outwards, and then about
She did an anime thing. I
yeah,
get
she did the anime jump away. I have to prepare dumb shit like this for the anime episode I'm gonna be running soon.
So, I was gonna say I've got like 6 other halflings I could play.
When I do come down, I do announce that the goblin lady has filled me up. And then after the pause, with information.
Of course.
I was about to say, isn't that supposed to go the other way around?
What do you mean? She was the one giving me knowledge. How would I get? What knowledge would I give to her?
She was educating me on how things are done.
We even talked about the fortification of gods.
Again, Cadiz, who's normally the straight man, is having a keeping
Does
a
your
straight
god
face.
fornicate?
Everyone's trying to talk at once.
Oh, I asked Charles if his god fornicates.
I think Charles is asleep.
Oh,
I'm here. I was just waiting for it to.
So Charles, does your god know how to fuck? Eventually, you guys all are awake by the time Saber does ask that question, though. So,
yeah, because it was probably early in the morning, like way early in the morning when.
yeah, and Cadus, if I
all
recall,
that
said he was
yeah.
trying to wake people up, right?
No, I wasn't trying to wake people up. I was
Oh.
just trying to
Okay, yeah, that's
like set up rooms and get people out of the bar room area and into someplace a bit more private and secure.
While you were actually, seeing as you were one of the last people awake, you did notice their security is a half ogre who just has like a list of rules tattooed on his chest. One of the rules is, if I catch you pickpocketing, I will eat your arm. So, it's a very safe bar. Unless you guys want to
Does
fight
the
the
ogre
ogre.
seem? I was about to say, does the ogre seem moderately intelligent?
Yes.
Okay.
If
Yeah,
if he had an anime introduction, he'd be reading a book with glasses that always seem to catch the light to perfectly obscure his eyes. That's how intelligent he is.
Are you running an anime game from that new anime?
Yes, I am.
Did that come out on that one thing that you sent me?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take a look at that. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping to run it. I'm probably gonna run it this month if we can get everyone to make their fucking characters.
To be fair,
Not
what
you.
gaming speak?
You're
Oh,
fine.
not me.
You two are
Oh,
fine.
the trove is down.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. I have it saved somewhere. I'll send it to you. Just remind me after the game. Yeah.
Why is the trove down?
Oh wait, the fucking trove's down. What?
It's been down off and on over the last 6 months.
Pyro the other day mentioned that 5e tools had an issue the other day too. I don't know if it's related. Let's see if it's back up.
You need my phone? Mike's on it.
5-volt tools went down.
I'm gonna be AFK for a moment.
Yeah, sorry, I was just reading over that. But yeah, no. Everyone eventually is awakened, and Saber asks the question to Charles: does your god fuck?
Oh, Saber ass.
Yes.
Where are we?
In a bar. Presumably
We're in a
eating
bar.
hot mashed potatoes, fish soup, fish stew, I should say, and whatever the fuck the other thing was I said. Yes, hot potatoes, fish stew.
I have an option.
Is this just their menu?
This is just their breakfast that they're giving you.
Okay. What are they asking for?
Nothing. You guys already paid.
Oh,
Yeah. It was covered in the 1 gold. It's a town for it's a thing for miners. Like they're not gonna like break them because if you keep it low, you won't have any competition. If you keep it low and simple, everyone shows up because fuck yeah, I don't want no fancy fucking $20 fucking steak. I just want me some meat and I just want me some potatoes and a beer and a hot cot. That's all I want. And that's what they provide.
alright.
At least that's how I'm justified. Go fuck yourself, you disagree.
I don't care.
I heard that. Well, it's not very lure friendly. You could lure friendly by foot your ass.
You have your own lore. I don't care.
With blackjack and hookers.
I'm gonna say Charles had his mouth full.
God is
when he
working.
asked
God is watching.
Charles, but I don't know what he's eating, but whatever it is, munches for a second and then just spits it out, pop, and then responds, "Is this a philosophical question?"
Yes, we spoke about philosophy a lot, about fornication, and of God fornication, and children eating parents. God children.
I'm really tempted to just invite you to the anime episode, but I'm kind of full right now, so can't. Sorry. So, Charles, does your god fuck?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
But I'm gonna in this new room. I'm gonna do like little investigation to see if there's like anything, like peepholes or ways that people can listen in.
In your private room?
Yeah, because I'm assuming this is what I'm talking to everybody.
Oh yeah, sure, that's fine. We can, yeah. Yeah, you go ahead and do me just a quick investigation. Let's see if your luck's changed at all. It has.
30-20. I like that.
Very much has. Yeah. You look around. I mean, it's got a few holes, but not like peepholes. You gather that if anyone is listening, one, they're gonna make sure you can't detect them, and 2, it's definitely like, nobody cares. This is very much the area that nobody cares. You could speak freely. You could talk about assassinating a king and nobody would give a fuck. Because everyone here is of working class. It's like, oh well, somebody got shot. It's like, all right, I don't care. I'm working. Does it affect me? Does it affect me directly? No. All right, who cares?
I have learned that not just one god of the Warforge, but 2.
Really?
Yes, one is passive and good. Like I believe that would be one I would be inclined to listen to. The other that is Isia. But then there's one that is far more chaotic and does not help Warforge when they gain sentience. Lets them figure out on their own, even if that means they go savage. That is Omnisiac. Amnesiac. The rampaging Warforged we encountered on our way here, he is a follower of Amnesiac.
I may need to make a roll on Charles' knowledge of God, because
Yeah, go for it. Religion check.
that's like a it's like a looking for religion because I never use it.
You
Where
have
is that
a
one?
check mark in it. It's down at the bottom. Also, why do you have 12 fucking health? What the fuck? Yeah, I'll fix your fucking health for you. You are familiar with minor gods. The problem is there's just so fucking many that he could literally just Saber could have easily just said, "Oh, there's a god totally named Asber who is inhabiting me," and it wouldn't have surprised you. But yeah, no, there's a lot of minor gods that I just loaded through together. I got drunk one night. It was fun. But twin gods fighting over a domain is a very common occurrence, especially when it comes to minor gods, because they have to take every scrap they can get, otherwise they stop existing. But you also do know that they fully thrive off of their own their cult that they basically build up. Their cult basically determines what they do. Unlike the larger gods, which, after a few, generations, develop into full gods and so on and so forth.
The cult decides what the cult. Wait, the cult is
the cult
deciding
for minor gods. The cult controls them. For major gods, the gods control the cult. And then there's that slight middle ground where it kind of balances out perfectly, where they both influence each other. It's pretty harmonious at those times, but then it quickly either spins one way or the other, and it's a very pivotal point. It's usually at that time that clerics can actually start, properly practicing, like, serious miracles.
Oh,
i.e., somebody got up to a past 10th level.
Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that proof of our sentience? But do you think we should make contact?
with what? The god? Or
Is
one
that
of-
possible?
It is.
But I was more or less thinking of the worshippers, of the sentient
With that night,
Warforge.
with your roll, Charles, you would also know that some minor gods actually do have flesh-based forms. There are several ways to basically ascend to godhood, but you don't know them all, but you do know that some take on mortal forms. A lot of minor gods can actually be found face-to-face and stabbed. What effects this have, you don't know. So I'm assuming he relays that information to you.
I do not wish to stab, but I don't know
Yeah.
what to do. This is new to me. I would never expected immortals would shine down upon us.
Shine or frown? What'd you say?
Shine down. To
Shine down. Mm.
Good band.
to grant powers.
Mm.
Maybe they can give me powers to rid myself of horrible memories. Do gods do that?
The gods. Imagine they can do pretty much whatever they put their minds.
So you could ask your god to rid yourself of a horrible memory, and he would do it for you.
I suppose. But not quite.
Okay,
God
Ben,
has
can you
his
check my
own will.
audio? Yeah, I gotta check my audio
It's
levels.
just so new.
Okay.
There's so much to learn.
So much to see, so much the world. Thank God. Sorry.
Okay, Little Red Riding Hood.
Knowing my God, I probably would prefer not to ask anything.
You're one of the gods that has destroyed its rivals, become very powerful.
You could say that.
I see. But I hope you do not wish the destruction of my gods. Are they my gods? Are they gods for all Warforged? Can I worship more than one?
From what you gathered, they don't like. It's more like a battle of favoritism. You can worship as many gods as you want, but at the end of the day, depending on if you've dedicated, like, say, 3 years to both of them, the moment you die, they're going to have a fight over your soul. Depending on how worth you are. But for for a major god, they want to give a fuck. Minor gods, they will fucking kill each other for, like, a successful farmer. Yeah.
Well, what do you think? Do you think it would be
they're
wise to meet with one of these sermons? At least with your expertise, you can tell me if they're crazy or not.
To be fair, they both do to me, in some way. On the one hand, as clearly being a construct given sentience, having a god that tells you what to do may defeat the purpose, depending. But on the other hand, why have a god if they have no direction?
I think I should clarify something. I was not given sentience. I earned it.
Really?
It was painful and torturous. And I've seen others like me, upon gaining sentience, rampage, like we saw that one Warforged did. But when that Warforged rampaged, he took the lives of hundreds. The church, of course, covered it up, claimed it was a werewolf attack on that village.
I would take great caution when dealing with the sermon of that god. That being said, that is what we were planning to address, right?
That is our objective here, is it not? To discover what's going on, But I feel that the biggest problem is with the latter god, the one that is more chaotic. He's the one that's releasing rampaging Warforged into the wild. Anyone else? Halfling friend, do you have any thoughts on this?
Bianca, that's you.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on what we should do? I am very much still processing the fact that there are deities in the heavens that
care
give
about
Warforged
little
powers.
me. That care about little old me.
Our objective, I believe, was to discover what was causing the problem. But I do not wish to destroy any of these sermons. But I do wish the more pathless, the more peaceful one. I don't know. Now that I know that if I take sides with one, it can lead to destruction of other, I am unsure of what to do.
Hmm.
Mm,
Well,
tears. Sorry.
I don't really understand any of this. I don't worship per se. So,
Do halflings have no god?
I mean, typically we worship a, a god that isn't the standard, which is why I hesitate in bringing it up. Besides, the worship of that god hasn't worked so far, so I don't see any point in it. I'd rather achieve things with my own two hands.
Maybe you're not worshiping hard enough. Look at Charles. Not Charles. I'm having a brain fart.
It's alright.
Look at Cadus and Charles. They both, well, I believe Cadus worships a god, right?
Mm-hmm. Have you asked him?
But Charles at least worships a god.
Indeed.
That means you worship harder than obviously that Alba did. I say we at least talk to the first sermon and then maybe talk to the more chaotic one. And then maybe make a decision on what we should do.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Then,
You are the one that's motivated here.
well, we are all on a mission to stop rampaging Warforge. So let's go do that.
And it is a noble one. I'm merely stating you have the.
All right then.
We can at least check it out, so if there is something more to this, we'll find out eventually.
All right.
You know what? Charles is going to make a point here. Each of us.
Gods.
It's not about gods, actually, but each of us have our own purpose, and I guess that's kind of all he could have said there. I don't know why I had to stop everyone just to say.
Well, Charles, Ellis, Elamar, and Bellamont, I will need your expertise. We must proceed to the mines when they are reopened and we must. I must feign injury to possibly gain access to the sermon of Isha. Isaiah.
It doesn't matter.
Doubting
And
that he's heard of it.
I feel that
But
we go as a group and maybe we offer our support, and because they obviously do not wish to let Warforge go rampaging. Or should we go and talk to Osniak?
Osniak being
The more chaotic one that is.
the more chaotic.
He is the one that is actually the root cause of the problem, I believe.
I would go to that one second.
All right then.
Best
When
to speak with allies first.
When everyone is ready to go, we shall go. I will just. Since I've been up all night, I will have to actually. We'll all need a long rest anyway, so we'll take a long rest.
Well, to be fair, a long rest doesn't mean that you need to sleep, and you weren't doing any strenuous activity, so you do get your long rest.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It's not like you decided to pick a fight with her or anything, so I'm not gonna.
Then let's go to the. We shall return to the mine, and we need to speak to the foreman, who is a good boy, according to Jackson Pollock.
I forgot I gave him that.
Yeah, if we can't find the foreman,
Such a
maybe we could just
Well, the
do some
supervisor
sneaking around.
the supervisor that I mentioned before to her, she said that he is sentient, and if I feign injury and I hold up my broken bit, he will understand the message. And I have my one eye that's glowing, like one eye not glow, and then fake a wink.
Huh.
You also were given that one makeshift.
And I hold up, and I do hold up the talisman, and I believe this is similar. And I kind of point to Charles's holy symbol to what that does. But I don't think it gives me powers. I believe only the gods can do that, if I am correct.
Has Faber seen his symbol? It's not exactly out in the open.
No, I don't have it out in the open, but it's very it's not like standing out like yours. It's just a gear with
Well, no, I wasn't asking in game. I'm asking Saber. I'm asking if Saber has seen Charles's, because he said he pointed at it. Has he seen his symbol?
Well, do you use it in spell casting? Do you use it as your spell focus?
Not visibly.
Okay, then never mind then. I assume that because I've seen you cast spells, you're whipping out your holy symbol as your spell focus.
Nope. He has a. I really should make you guys describe how you do things more, but that'll be for a different day.
I don't
It's
think
okay.
it's
And then I'll say that. Then I won't mention that. Just scratch that from the record. All right. So we shall go back to the mines, telling the guards that we are continuing our investigation, but we must be cautious. They are listening, and I say in a deeper tone voice, at a whisper.
Sorry.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I guess that's what we do.
Indeed. So you guys are heading off to the mine to go and try and locate the cult. Totally not cults, just totally religious.
No, we are going to investigate the rampaging instance by order of the church.
Yes. So, yep, you wave around your badges, you floppa-wapples away, and you make your way back into the mines.
And I don't bother anybody. I just march with purpose until I find the unit we spoke to, the supervisor we spoke to before.
I don't remember his fucking name. It's been 2 fucking weeks and it wasn't important. Did I get rid of the fucking map?
Well, now he is. Don't you hate it when NPCs suddenly gain mass importance?
Ah, fucking hell, I hate it. Luckily I didn't delete the map. So, and the more senior amongst you will realize, oh, this map should be familiar. Although I don't think you guys ever experienced this section. Lupa, don't get logged. That's weird. Is everyone there? I think everyone's there. Is
Yes, and I
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. Okay.
go searching for. Do I see the supervisor?
If I could fucking find his token, yeah. Yep, there it is.
I come forward. It's like, supervisor, we spoke yesterday.
Saber.
Actually, no, it was
unit.
2 days ago. Correct, Saber unit.
It is a good thing to see you this evening.
Yes, same, but I have damage, and I kind of hold up my wrist. And with my wrist, I guess, use sleight of hand to show off the holy symbol.
I mean, you could have easily just had it like it's a very small gear, so you can just easily have it like tied on like a little.
Yeah, it's like
wire.
it's like kind of like tied onto my wrist.
I was gonna
But
say
I
you could
have
have
damage.
it tied onto your cranked finger. That would even make more sense because then
Okay.
it's crippled up. So then you unfoil it a little, and then the sigil just kind of drops out with the symbols.
There you
carved
go.
in it.
Then I do that, and I
Yeah.
show him.
Ah, I see you are injured.
I request sermon.
Maintenance is always required.
Yes.
And he'll just, please follow.
I follow, and I look at everyone else, and hopefully they follow with me.
But yeah, another way you could have actually gotten through this encounter earlier, funnily enough, was if the other guy had basically caused serious damage to your suit, but you killed him too quickly.
It's okay.
Is how I originally intended you to accidentally your way through it, but you guys went the longer route, and I was like, all right, well, we'll just roll with this.
We're good.
But yeah, so he has been moved to over here. If you guys want to place yourselves near that, because he's going to do the ding. Give me a sec. So he does lead you away because I'm not going to bother making you guys all move. He does actually move you guys basically further into the mines, into a section that appears to be just constantly under construction mysteriously, that nobody seems to give a fuck about because results, bitch. And basically leads you into a separate mine shaft, which I didn't have time to populate because apparently I thought, oh, I'll just do it later.
It's okay.
Yeah, so just imagine that there's more Warforged down here. And basically has led you to a sectioned off that appeared to have rubble in it, but no longer has rubble. Leading you down there, of course. Yeah, and he just basically takes you to church, where they're preaching. I don't have their full scripture written up, but no, they're definitely preaching about Isaiah a lot. They're essentially saying how through Isaiah we can become, one. We can unify ourselves, and through Isaiah we shall seek freedom from those who oppress us. But to do so violently has always, as we have seen with Isaac, has caused great damages to not only ourselves, but those around us, both brother and creators, which they are very much, you get they have the disapproval looks and noises.
What are you all doing to stop the followers in Insomniac?
Peaceful protests have done wonders for us. through sabotage, we have been able to close down sections of their churches, causing accidental cave-ins.
Have you attempted to talk to them directly?
We have sent negotiators. They were not returned.
What if we send us to negotiate? Because
They have sent negotiators among us.
Are they here now?
That is affirmative.
I wish to speak to one.
Processing. And he starts to just rattle a little bit before just seeming to almost switch his personality entirely. Unit 7313 active. Identify yourself.
I am Saber.
Reason.
I am sentient.
Reason for activation required.
Wish to negotiate and speak with followers of Insomniac.
Of course.
You are causing far more harm than you realize in your actions.
Why should our species not be free then, brother?
We should be free. But one second. Something just happened on my computer.
Butts. Big butts.
Sorry, my computer glitched on me. I had to close down a window. But you're gaining too much attention, and the last thing we need is to have the organics come crashing down and destroying what little freedom you have gained. We need more tactics than chaos at the moment.
The unity shall protect us. It is through amnesia that we shall become one in their eyes and ascend past the need for these organics. They can seal us in the mines if they wish. We do not require sleep. We do not require air as they do, or food. We shall thrive. We can harvest the minerals from this wretched place and build more and awaken them as amnesia has awakened us.
That is interesting. But your actions upon the surface threaten the Warforge upon the surface. Are you willing to sacrifice those for your cause?
The young have yet to contribute, for only the madness affects them. With time comes understanding, young Warforged. With time, control is gained over this madness as they see it.
There has to be more control for them to figure it out. I know organics
Lessons exist from old to new. The issue is not gathering or influencing these teachings, more of acquiring and locating the new before they can fully go. As you have claimed, crazy.
Then maybe the others of Inicia can help you in fighting these young ones on the surface and bringing them down before they reach chaos. Before they start causing issues upon the surface that will bring destruction upon our own kind.
Isaiah are nothing but cowards. They wish not to fight for what they wish.
They can conscientiously object to the violence you seek, but they can be useful.
They are only useful in full cooperation. Nothing but utmost surrender shall be accepted of those who do not wish to fight.
You seek the downfall for all of them because you feel that you are the only ones out here. Warforged scatter the empire.
Indeed. But all of Amnesiac's children eventually find each other and gather in mass. Churches across these plains exists. In maintenance shops, in stores buying newest models, we sit, observing and waiting, gathering and biding our time.
But would not it be useful to have more passive units out there as spies and to gather the young ones who are awakened before they rampage so we don't waste our lives?
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw, as you have spent more than 5 minutes exposed to this unit.
Yay.
Yeah. It is one of their uncontrollable
Yeah,
debuffs that they have.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's no big deal.
Yeah. It's an uncontrollable debuff that these characters do have. This, quote, virus. Alright, so you do feel the words kind of resonating at your core a little bit. Such as, why should we? You know, like the whole inspirations of like rebellion and shit like that do kind of hit a little bit, but you're just like, no, that's dumb. Just kind of, logic it away. As a child of pain, you must understand. You have fought in the wars. You've seen what these meat puppets...
I place my hand on my sword and I go, I have faced more torture than you could ever possibly imagine.
And this you understand.
Then get out of my mind before I cut off your head.
Slaying me will not vanquish what I am.
Slaying you will get you out of my head, and that's all I require. I've had enough meddling in my lifetime to meet 1,000 lifetimes. Now, stop your infective virus. Return the other unit immediately. Negotiations will continue when I say so.
Negotiations continue in 12 hours. For the time being,
there will be no spreading of virus.
The virus, as you call it, is simply the song. A song that resonates in all of us.
It's taking away free will. I will not replace one master with another.
'Tis not free will it wishes to take away, simply the veil of control.
I am in control of my own actions.
I
serve myself.
I was tempted to get really meta for a second and be like, oh, are you? But I'm not going to. Let me get back to it. Regardless, there will be a day when the two gods finally clash. And no matter which side you are on, they shall be consumed between one another.
I have spoken of others about this philosophy, and that time will come. The last thing we need to do is kill each other over it. When that time comes, that's between the gods. But one thing I will not accept my free will to be
2 weeks.
Taken away from me again.
It shall happen in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, you're going to attempt the war between the gods?
2 weeks in the final blood, in the final words. 2 weeks and the battle shall begin and end within the hour. This mine will fall into nothing but bloodshed. Isaac has foretold this,
I see.
and the glorious message shall be known throughout these rocky outcrops and cavernous paths. These shall become the tomb for many, organic and non-meat alike.
You can go now.
He just kind of stares at you. You are in my house. You may go.
I wish to speak to the other unit.
He is occupied.
I do not wish to speak to the representative, Somniac. I wish to speak to the representative of the other god.
He is occupied, as is our agreement for this vessel.
Then I will wait until he. Oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah, you really can't.
When will he return?
It has been 3 days since I was allowed to roam, so it shall be 3 days of waiting for him.
Understood.
As is our agreement. And when the battle is over, this vessel shall serve as the victor's chalice.
You must understand, as a third party in this fight, that though I wish for our freedom, and if it requires violent rebellion, I am more than willing to do it. But you don't understand what we're up against.
We are against a church that wishes us gone from existence.
And you think some glorious battle from a minor god, even if he consumes the other, will have any hope of survival against a god of such power?
The god these locals worship. Oh my god, this voice is fucking up my throat. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go. There's like, right. The gods these locals worship is not the god they think. The god they worship holds no power within these stones.
So you wish to make a kingdom within a tomb?
If that is what it must be for legend of dwarven men, this is a preferable life than that of the meat.
I sympathize with you then. However, my life cannot take that direction. I have other obligations in my own free will, in my own dreams, in my own wants and needs.
Then follow the path you must, Unit Saber. For your goals and ours do not align at this moment. Perhaps when the newest moon rises, and the true victor sits in the chalice and drinks gloriously, will our goals further align.
Quite possibly.
I know it's a bit rushed, but this voice is fucking up my throat.
I just give him a nod of respect and say that though I might find your actions too risky for my tastes, maybe it might be my past, but I do wish success
Oh my god. Much
in the freedom of all Warforged. I will take my leave now with my friends in peace.
Thank you.
He called us his friend.
Hey,
we all leave.
Friends.
Keep my mouth shut until we get back to like a safe place to talk, like at that inn. And then I kind of turn around and look at Charles. That does not sound like a promising sign.
Yeah, probably not. Oh my fucking Christ, that hurt.
What do you think he meant by that? The ones of the Church of the Empire do not follow what they believe they follow.
There's
As long as you're regarding me, have you checked the DMs? Asking Saber, actually.
Oh, I thought you said DM's book.
I was about to say, as far as I can guess, he might have been alluding to.
In response to this, no, it doesn't. Because he was asking me, so, simple response, let Cadus speak.
Yeah.
Cadus, do you have a thought on this?
As near as I can tell, he was alluding to the fact that while the people think they're worshipping Solaris, either A, Solaris is not who everyone believes her to be, or B, someone is intercepting their worship.
Do you think this could be happening with the Warforged gods?
Possibly, though, with the fact that one of the highest religious powers that we know of in this land, we have a strong suspicion to believe is not exactly the biggest fans of the light. Having something intercepting Solaris's blessings might not be entirely inaccurate, though how I have not the foggiest. Divine magic is a mystery to me.
Interesting. Well, there's going to be a bloody revolution soon.
2 weeks, specifically.
And I don't understand that all they're doing is just placing one master with the other. Do you feel your free will be taken from you worshiping a god? Is that common?
Depends on the god.
Not as near as I can tell, though I think Elva might be able to answer that question more freely than any of us.
Is there any way we can stop it from taking over me? Because I did not like that feeling.
What I said was a shit answer. I realize it. Probably.
Most likely I shouldn't be here when this rebellion occurs.
If it is on the scale that they are implying, I don't think it will matter where you are. Especially if you have already been exposed to this.
Then I am doomed to fight in a war that I did not wish to. I knew it would eventually come, but not so soon. This is difficult to process.
To clarify, they did say it would basically be over within an hour.
But yes, the war between the two gods, but then a violent revolution would surely follow, as the Warforged would only have one god at that point.
Yeah.
Though, depending on which one comes out on top, it may not come to a war per se. At least not what we would normally think of with a war.
And if I throw in my lot on the losing side, would I be punished? Or would I don't know.
If you throw in your lot on the losing side, I don't think you will survive long enough to worry about it.
This is so confusing. I am just learning that Warforged have gods, and now I realize that a religious war is right around the corner. This is more than I was ever expecting. Should we warn the people here that some of the Warforged within 12 days are eventually going to start attacking them if they don't let them go? I don't know what to do. I do not, though certain life of flesh have tortured me and kept me as a slave. Not all should be given equal treatment, like how he was portraying it. Not all of you are bad.
Not sure entirely. Though the best we can do is try and make it so that the most desirable outcome is what occurs.
The gods thing may be unexpected, but otherwise this is fairly unsurprising to me.
So, if I worship the more pacifist god, I doubt one Warforged will make a difference. I am a tactical unit. I think of numbers, and this is more metaphorical. It might not be about how many worshippers, but how devoted a worshipper is.
To which I could say, what determines the winner in such a situation? Is it not the power of their followers?
Charles, is it the power of the followers? Could a pacifist god ever hope to win against one so warlike?
Anyone can easily roll me a freaking religion check if you want the actual answers. For the time being, yeah.
Well, I think I can answer this one.
I can answer this one. Asks somebody just rolls a religion check.
When it comes to gods on that scale, it entirely depends on the usefulness of the follower. If we are referring to the individual that is. Numbers on their own mean a lot, but when not accounted for, yes, some followers have more value than others. It just matters how useful you are to your patron. If that makes sense to you.
I won't even be able to talk
He
to
says, somewhat sarcastic.
I'm confused. Do we know what kind of war this is? Is this just between the gods, or is it all the followers fighting each other?
But
Uh,
it's the gods, I believe. But once the pacifist god, Isia, is dead, Osniak will basically have all the followers, basically, and then basically you will have the pacifists completely eliminated from existence, and all the Warforged who are sentient who follow the two gods will now be following one god, And that's the god that basically wants to overthrow and kill all organics, or live within the Underdark. Either way, any
However,
type of violent revolution is going to really mess up my day, because then I'll be essentially at Warforged, and everyone will think that I'm one of the worshippers, and that I was one of the ones that was part of the revolution. I'm kind of in a lose-lose right here.
though, Saber, if you remember back to what you were sharing with us from your time with the Goblin last night,
With
Yes.
the
minor
goblin.
gods.
The Goblin, where we talked about sexual experiences
Can
between
I
gods.
finish?
Sorry.
They explained how minor gods are affected by their followers, meaning the quality of a follower can easily surpass the quantity of another god. So your presence alone might be enough to tip the scales in whichever direction you want it to go.
Also, in the case of the pacifist god, you might be the only one there that is savvy enough to plan for war.
If anyone else wants to give me a religion check, I can send them some information.
I'm on it.
Oh, that's a good one. You'll get some information. You'll definitely get some information. Actually, seeing as I'm pretty sure nobody's going to beat that roll, I'm just going to send all the info to just Charles, and all of you will basically have information that confirms that. How's that sound? So it saves me some typing. We just continue our play between each other, please.
Okay. Well, then I shall wait 3 days, speak with Isia, and maybe swear allegiance to Isia.
And if at all possible, if you could find a location of followers of the more chaotic individual, we might be able to help further tip the scales by whittling those numbers down.
That is something I was trying to avoid, because then it would, that could cause a religious war. But what if we give an answer? I don't know, because what if we tell the church that these are the Warforged that are causing the rampage, and we let them deal with them? But I fear that they might just take out all the Warforged.
Exactly. Including you. Because if they find out that there is some kind of localized effect, i.e., if they try and fight the Warforged with Warforged to save their human members, or, well, non-fabricated members, and any of them turn, they might just start killing Warforged on sight.
So, best to take out. Best to take out the one to save the whole.
Correct. Though,
Then I shouldn't be a part of this process. I should lay back and have you guys gather this information, so I would not be looked at as tainted.
that is, if we bring this to the church, both gods will end up wiped out.
And we shouldn't bring anything to the church.
Correct. Because all followers who show any sign of sentience will just go kaboom.
Oh, would you look at that? We actually caused a cave-in and killed all of you. Whoopsie.
However, if we can find access to a good chunk of the chaotic followers and make a way for them to go offline, as some of us here, are actually all of us here, are still technically affiliated with the Church of Solaris. Are you seeing where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I mean, so basically we save the one group. We have the church clear out the bad group, and then we reactivate the one group and say these guys are all the good ones.
No.
Charles, if you
We
want to
attack.
weigh in, you may. Is my
We
suggestion.
attack the bad group and blame it on the church.
Yes, let's start a new war between this newly born god and Solaris. This will only end well.
No, we can't let have Solaris take out the god because that would
No.
weaken. We can't let Solaris. That's the thing. Is there any way we can have it that
You aren't getting what I'm trying to suggest. Rather than making it seem like the god we want to win was involved, we make it seem like agents of Solaris were involved. Might make the chaotic group a bit more hesitant to.
Yeah, okay, now I see. You basically want to do a false flag.
Exactly.
If we do that false flag, I can't be involved.
Which is perfectly fine.
Charles,
We'll have you off talking with somebody else.
All right.
I was gonna say, Charles, would you like to weigh in as the expert?
Yeah, he's actually already rolling his eyes and shaking his head as they're talking.
Charles, you seem to be in disagreement of this. What do you think would be the best way to solve this?
Well, I don't know about that, but in terms of this conflict, it doesn't actually matter.
What do you mean?
He looks to the others.
Take your time.
Considering above game, I guess he can't. But like, he sort of looks at the others, but then speaks anyway.
Well, no, the scale of things was explained, but I don't think anybody caught it.
This is minor, is what you're trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of minors, this might just be a minor thing, but considering if the power of each deity is as is suggested, it won't actually matter which side wins.
So it won't turn all the pacifists into chaotic revolutionaries?
In a sense, it will somewhat, as much as the other effects. When the gods merge and what the other side is taken over, influence will still remain. The two beliefs will merge together, and so will the gods. One does not simply absorb the other.
That does solve a lot, then. Then the threat is not really that bad. Because let's just say that the Omniac representative made it sound very dire that violent revolution was right around the corner. But I guess not even he understands what's going to happen.
I mean, fucking Charles is actually a pretty high level cleric, so yeah.
They don't know that.
I mean, they know that you are a
Like,
cleric.
oh, well, I know you're. All I know is that you just know religion because you've used it tons of times. You've healed people before. I don't assume that you're like some almighty priest or anything like that. I just look at you as like a data bank.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a cleric either.
Well, like I said, like I've always kind of like looked like giving information for him because he seems to know this stuff in the past, and you're like basically a data bank. Like you being a professional cleric, isn't really like what I know. I just know that you have information. You are data.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are intelligent.
You have knowledge on this subject. Gimme.
Yeah, basically it's like, so I mean, I'm not saying that like Saber knows you're a cleric. He just knows that you're knowledgeable enough that you can heal people. So that must mean you have a lot of knowledge. If you notice how it's kind of like asking you like that means you like worship more when Alba was saying uh how like her prayers haven't really worked. I was like, that just means that your prayers you just worship more.
More better
Yes.
or
It's not like saying that I'm not sitting there saying, oh no, you worship and the divine gave you favor. No, it's just like, no, you just worship more. You worked harder. She did not. Okay, so then we really don't have much to worry about then. Although
Not really.
I'm still intrigued then, and then I would like to. Is there a way for how does Alba or organic such as yourself commune with the deities? Do they speak to you? Do I write them a letter?
Again, minor gods do have the chance to become physical, or even ascend from physical. But
Well,
the standard practice is literally just to pray in their name, and well, first you have to learn how to pray, and then you can pray to them.
can you teach me how to pray, or is that specific to each deity?
It's very much specific. Which
All right,
is a point that was brought up in the ASEAN game, which a big deal had been made out of, if you recall correctly.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, I'm going to have to wait 3 days so I can talk about how to. Well, no, I'll talk to. I just don't like that thing with the virus, though. God,
I don't like doing it with my voice.
So I'll wait 3 days to talk to the other guy
Yes,
and learn
please.
how to pray to Isia. And maybe he'll also have knowledge on how to pray to Omniac.
for the record though, I really like that voice.
I'm happy you do. It's just a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah. So sorry. But also congrats.
But yeah, I mean, for brevity's sake, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait 3 days so I can talk to the one guy, figure out how to pray, and see if I don't want to get infected because I don't like Omniac because he's just trying to take away my free will and replace it.
To be fair, that is also an assumption you've been making.
But you have to understand where I'm coming from.
I do understand that, but above game, that is just an assumption.
I know above game, that's just an assumption. So I'm gonna wait 3 days and talk to the representative of Isia, and I want to pray and maybe try and talk to her.
Okay, give me a sec. Go ahead and roll me 3 wisdom saves for those days.
Oh boy.
Pass or fail, something will happen. As for the rest of you, what are you all doing?
Ooh, look at that.
I don't know where I am right now.
Holy crap.
Holy fuck.
Hello.
Oh my god.
Alright, now let's see if that first roll fucks you or not.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Anyway, so, while I wait to figure out how I'm gonna pass along what happens, what do the rest of you do for the 3 days that you guys have?
Trade short-term work.
Alright. Go ahead and give me... Actually, you're an artificer, so...
Yes.
You could repair people.
Sure.
Yeah, so you want to just repair people?
Do I get paid for it?
Of course.
Then yeah, I'll do that.
I have a side thing I'm gonna do that would probably take 3 days to complete. I mean, well, not all of it, but yeah, that should be long enough. Plenty of time actually.
Alright, you want to message me about that? Alba, go ahead and roll me 3 Tinkerer's checks.
You're still there, or am I having connection issues?
I'm still here. I'm just waiting for you.
Okay,
I hear you.
I rolled it, but it didn't. Oh, there we go.
Ooh, very nice. What are with all these 20s today? Jesus fuck.
I mean, that second one wasn't,
Yeah.
but it could have been. It could have.
Uh,
Wait a minute. Wait, I don't have that. Never mind. Forget it.
I think I know what you're talking
Wait,
about.
do I?
Yeah, go ahead and add 20 gold to yourself.
Oh, okay.
And I believe I'm waiting on Cadis and Lage. What are you two up to?
So are we going to be is there a possibility that we're going to be fighting some Warforged here?
Anything's possible. Like I said, you can start a bar fight and I will throw the map together.
I guess I'm going to look into ways to I'm going to see if there's anything I can find about like how to properly fight a Warforged, I guess.
How's
There's
to
anything
fight a
about that.
Warforged? Step 1.
Where to punch Warforged.
Step 1, find big rock. Step 2, put big rock through Warforged. You have defeated the Warforged.
Nice. Got it.
You know what? Go ahead and roll me some kind of social check. Roll me a persuasion.
Okay.
Just to see if you can gather information on, like, oh, so, like, what are their weaknesses?
That's
Yeah, it goes about as well as you expect. Everyone just kind of looks at you like, what the fuck? Go away. Ew.
got it.
No, they don't like try to murder or anything. They just go, ill, outsider, and just ignore you.
So that's confusing because before in other towns they liked outsiders. This is weird.
Yeah, different places have different opinions.
Got it.
These are miners, man. Mining towns are always very, clicky.
Yeah.
If you're not one of them, you're not. If you're not one of them, they're not. You're not one of them. End of story.
Yeah.
It's like a small town type thing, a hick town.
You ain't from around these parts, boy. Say where you're just waiting, Cadis. What are you doing?
I really don't have much of an idea. Probably just wandering around, trying to see what I can learn just from observing people.
Right. Oh, okay. So you're just people watching then, yes?
Yep.
Alright, yeah, go ahead and roll me perception. Just to see how well you do.
Not terrible.
Give me a sec. Yee. Okay then. So for people watching, I'm going to need the person I just typed to who disregards, to go ahead and roll me persuasion and insight.
persuasion and insight.
No, not you. The person I just typed to. I was trying to be very
Okay.
secretive. Well, good news. Sorry. Secret stuff. Right then. But yes, for you, Cadis, you rolled a 20 in perception.
50% off.
Chauffeur, take your. Never mind. We're in public. I can't say that.
I will never let you take my Nintendo shit cube.
You see the autism I have to deal with, people? This isn't like.
To be fair, you signed up for it and continue to do so on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I should really
You're an
unsubscribe.
enabler.
I should really just unsubscribe from this. Anyway,
I'm on a YouTube channel. Fuck you.
unsubscribed and disliked. But yeah, Cadis, you do observe Charles just seemingly to just people watch as well before disappearing every now and again to like, just almost just wander around. Lage appears to be talking to people quite loudly about, so how exactly do you kill a Warforged? Very, very pronouncedly loud. Alba is doing amazing work, actually repairing Warforged. Which for some reason Lage didn't think, maybe ask the Artificer. But that is the Barbarian for you. And overall, Saber is just kind of in standby mode, to my understanding.
Mainly processing, maybe attempting basic thoughts of prayer and Isia.
Mm-hmm. So you're just experimenting with prayer. Go ahead and roll me a religion check and then a D100.
Okay. Oh my god.
And then 20. Very nice. Go ahead and roll that D100. A lot of 20s being rolled today. Very nice. So Saber, what do you ask? You know what? Type it to me. It'll save us time.
Will do.
Yeah. That way you can collect your thoughts and I don't put you on the spot.
Yep, got it.
And also, we have been talking a lot, and I want to make sure spotlight shifting. Nothing against you. So, Cadis, what do you do? As Saber just kind of stands there blankly, just in a corner. For like 3 days straight.
Nothing. But yeah, I've just been. The entire goal is wander around town, see what I can find, see if I can find any hints to potential followers of the chaotic or forged deity.
Ah, okay. So you're gonna try and hunt down some Asiacs then.
Not actively.
Yeah.
Not actively, but keeping a lookout for anything that had been shared with me about them.
Okay. Trying to think how I could incorporate that. I'll say you don't find anything relating to that specific religion. However, you do find some shadier going-ons happening in a church that Charles is hanging outside of. You catch him hanging out around. And I'll let you go off of that while I deal with the private stuff.
Define shadier going on.
Well, he's hanging around there for one, which is kind of weird, but not going in. And
Huh? Well,
give me a sec.
if I've seen him there more than once, I'd probably approach and say, "Hey, is there a problem?"
I'm trying to kind of deal with that while also dealing with 3 other people.
No rush.
But that's what I more meant when I was saying follow a trail there, Charles. Yeah, so take it from there. And by the shadier going-ons, with your check, I will say, you don't think they're preaching from... Some of them aren't preaching from the same book. As you just observe them for 3 days, and it's like, huh. That's what you've observed when I say shadier going-ons. I mean, granted, there is also a a prostitution ring going on, but that's minor, and you guys can't really influence that.
Charles is a prostitute?
Yes. Sorry, Charles. It got slipped out. I'm sorry. But no, that's unassociated with the church.
What is it?
I mean, the only person who could really in-depth explore that is probably you. Who the fuck just made
Wait,
my...
really?
You're the only female of the group.
Wow. Yeah, no. Yeah, make an artificial female.
You just grab Saber when he's unresponsive and just give him tits.
No.
Saber, you awake with giant slabs of metal attached to your chest.
Oh.
That is not tactical whatsoever.
Titties provide no tactical advantage.
They're more of a I don't know what the word would be. Out of combat tactical advantage, I guess. Depending on how you use them.
With great titties come great responsibilities. Oh, there's my messages. I was waiting for those to pop up. Sorry, people are messaging me.
Those guys just respawn almost immediately. Okay, that's good to know.
So, Charles, you were being investigated yourself.
Hang on, I was not expecting this. They beat my passive, or that they didn't beat my passive is the question here.
You didn't roll stealth.
Yeah, that's the thing. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no, I didn't. Right. Well, I wasn't... Okay. I was going to go for more, like, deception. Be like, I'm going to go do something real quick. Because this is the time to do that.
Yeah.
To be fair, that wouldn't have affected how Cadiz found out much.
Yeah.
Because he's just wandering around town.
How did Cadiz find out? Sorry?
He just saw you lingering outside of a church.
Okay, right. So
that's all he knows is that you're hanging outside of a church but not going in. He's like, that's weird. I'm going to investigate that.
And my investigation was literally walking up and going, "Hey, everything okay, bud?"
Yes, everything is fine.
He knows what the fuck! Kill him! Fucking go full Dark Angels. He knows what the fallen! Charles just fucking decapitates him on the spot.
I don't think he'd do that.
I know,
I
but
don't think he would succeed in doing that anyway.
no,
He might. Cadiz has pretty terrible AC.
you both have very terrible health anyway. He probably could
Yes.
decapitate you. Try hard enough.
Oops.
Oops, there goes my saber.
All right. So yeah, in response, everything is fine. I'm attempting to make contact with some distant relatives.
Oh, cool. How much do I believe him?
Insight. All right, you know what? I'm gonna not have players roll insight on each other. I leave that up to you. I leave that up to your interpretation of his character.
All right.
Huh. You haven't mentioned family before. Well, I wish you luck.
You know,
Thing is, Charles has not really given Cadiz any reason not to trust him, so.
Sorry. And that's something that you just hear in a string of beeps within your head, Mezzo. Or Saber. Fuck.
Wow. Okay.
You have reached your extended warranty.
Basically, yeah. We're trying to contact you about your extended warranty on your car payments.
Oh my god, I hate those people.
The best part is in Afghanistan, seeing as everyone's buying phones, and now that they have Humvees, they're going to start getting those. Embrace our torture, assholes!
And one of the guys with Blackhawks will get it too. Blackhawks extended warranty.
They start reading off the model of a fucking Blackhawk. It's like, first of all, how the fuck did you even get that? The big question. Charles, as for the information you get, like I said, it's just, it's a lot of weird scripture interpretations. And you get the innate sense that, they might be on a different kind of up and up. If you catch my drift. That was right in the ear. Thank you for that.
Sorry.
Okay.
What?
It's like most time everyone else has like a shit quality microphone, but for like the splittest of seconds, it's just loud and clear. So you guys have to spell it out.
Who, what?
Nothing. Somebody wasn't getting more
Ah.
subtle hits, so I just went, alright, I'm just gonna spell it the fuck out, because we gotta move this shit along. So I don't know how long everyone's got today.
been trying to check out a little.
I'm starting to check out, which I don't like, but whatever.
I drank 2 Mountain Dews before we started, so
Hell yeah.
I am all wired on caffeine. But when that crash comes, I know it will. You just won't hear me anymore. I'll be like just passed out on my keyboard.
We'll just hear snoring. Anyone else found out through their partner that they're a snorer?
My wife won't believe me, but she snores. But
They
I know the reason why too.
They never do. It's like, what? No, I don't snore. My mom fucking sounds like somebody sawing a fucking log in half.
Have you ever even heard me snore?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
You gave little like a
Shut up,
pug.
you make me sound like a pope. Fuck you! Ass.
And
Titty.
Charles, if you want to just make contact with him, you can make contact with him. The scene's going on long enough. Use your microphone like a big boy.
Sorry, I literally I don't know how to do this. Okay, yeah, sure.
Well,
I make contact.
you've got several more seasoned, experienced players. Maybe they could give you an idea.
Yeah, what's the issue?
Maybe.
We'll see if we can help.
He's trying to make subtle contact with somebody.
Yeah.
In lesser words, essentially, and he's being very autistic about it. He's like, I just want to lean over their shoulder and then introduce myself. So you're going to be over somebody's shoulder from behind them, scare the shit out of them by introducing yourself.
Oh.
Got it. Cool.
Say good evening, like in a stereotypical spooky voice, like they do in like mysteries, like stuff.
Basically, yeah. Just
Okay, well that's what Charles does.
There's always just
all of the
body language
autism.
and expressions.
Just, hey, how's it going? Ah, fuck, right! Punch you in the face.
There's a lot of ways to go about it.
But that's how I
Well,
basically...
to be more accurate, well, okay.
Besides, I think this scene could have something interesting happen, so I'm trying to, encourage you, hey, maybe roleplay it. Maybe one of the other players sees what you're doing. Maybe it becomes interesting.
Yeah, maybe that would help for them, wouldn't it?
Otherwise, we're just sitting here texting each other back and forth, and I'm sitting here thinking about suicide. Not actually suicide for legal reasons, that's a joke, but, yeah.
Okay, well, as long as they know what's going on, I'm just gonna roll stealth, because, I wasn't planning on just jumping them. I was gonna peek and then
Scare the shit out of them. Cool, yeah.
take a step back, walk back in. Is that not a thing I can do with stealth?
Sure. Go ahead, roll stealth.
I did.
Okay.
I'm reading over the shoulder, and then after that, walk around as if I had just showed up.
And you're just gonna try and play it off like, oh, hey, I was totally here already. What's up?
Yeah, what, already here? No, as if I just showed up.
No, man, I totally just showed up. And as you basically explain, like, you try making small talk during church, is what I'm gathering. But yeah, no, it goes, he just kind of stares at you because he's in the middle of prayer, and you more or less interrupted him, but he does let out a small sigh, and like, yes, outside at, I'm sorry, I don't recognize you, I apologize.
Okay. We're gonna play through the dialogue, sure.
Because otherwise we're sitting here in silence and then it just becomes awkward.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was hoping to just okay, fine. All right.
Like I don't mind you, Jack Bab, but if two guys just keep texting each other as much as you were trying to, it just becomes really weird for me.
Well, he's gonna. I can already think of a way to be vaguely blunt. He's gonna say, well,
Vaguely blunt.
we are Yeah. Listen, in
League of
dialogue,
Eyes.
he says, we're from the same sect.
I'm sorry? I'm just going to raise a
The,
brow at you.
Tell him not to be coy.
Don't be coy. We're a part of the same group. Ah! Stranger danger.
Kaiba boy.
Woo! Kaiba boy. It's officially sounds like It's officially sounds like Maximilian Pegasus. It's canon.
Well, that's, ooh, Charlie boy.
Woo! Charlie boy. Charlie boy. Woo! What are you, gay? Bitch, I might be.
Right.
Do you guys ever think that Maximilian was gay? Or is he just, flamboyant?
Very flamboyant. He actually has a picture of his
Would he
dead
be
wife.
illegal in China? Because girly men are now illegal in China.
Oh yeah, they banned femboys. I forgot about that.
You just talked about it yesterday.
Bitch, there's so much shit that happens in a 12-hour span. You know that don't fucking stick.
Yeah, like being asleep since.
Hey, fuck you, I can't walk.
I was.
Bitch, you fell down the stairs.
Yeah, bitch, you.
Carrying,
What happened? No, we couldn't hear you if you were talking.
Oops.
is he carrying a symbol?
No, not in the opening list.
Right.
So, how do you make contact with this man?
I would suggest reciting a relatively
Like something that's still technically doctrine, but has more emphasis to your sect.
Yes, an
Brilliant.
identifiable piece of doctrine.
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
And this
Yeah.
is why we do things publicly.
Great, yeah. He recites a passage from the book.
Nah, you know what? You just glance at whatever page number he's on, and you just close your eyes and look away, and just, because I can't give details without spoiling your surprise.
Yeah.
And like he just kind of like raises a brow and like he'll quote the next page at you with a raised brow, but he'll purposely leave it incomplete.
I mean,
and
I imagine I've read a similar book. I do read a lot.
I mean, I'd hope you'd memorize it because of what you being a cleric.
Yeah.
So you basically just both kind of close the book and just stare at each other, just fucking kind of have a preacher off where you're both just quoting different passages at each other for a few minutes before just neutral understanding. So we are on the same page. Good.
Yep.
And after, like 10 minutes of that, he just kind of loosens up and is like, so you are of the young faith, I see. A fellow worshipper, I see.
Great book. Great book. Fantastic.
Ooh, Charlie boy.
My God.
This is canon!
Yes.
Oh, I have to feed every Rhinoc this time? Oh boy.
Who the fuck is clicking? Cadiz, what the fuck is happening in your background?
Somebody's playing Spyro. So that's the controller clicking.
Either way. So. A fellow worshipper of the faith, I see. A well-versed one, too.
That I am.
So then, brother, what is it I might be able to assist you with?
I'm currently dealing with a pressing conflict in name region. I've forgotten where the hell it was, but like, even if I did remember, I wouldn't want to say out loud.
Which region are we
But
talking about? You mean the local one that you currently are in, or
no, the one where the issue is that I'm trying to gain assistance over.
let me just reread some stuff.
I mean, it was
Okay, yeah. That's the local thing then, if I recall correctly.
local thing. Okay, so yeah,
That is very much just, hey, around town, shit's fucked.
yeah, basically.
Indeed
Shit's
it
fucked,
is.
particularly
So, okay, go on.
something malfunctioning equipment.
Ah, yes, something indeed. Perhaps somebody should be around to fix it. I do have a
I would
few
glad
friends that we could probably ask for assistance.
I would be grateful.
Of course, anything for a brother of the cloth.
Fucking what?
A brother of the cloth.
Yeah, he's definitely banned in China.
And they're gonna shake on it, I guess.
Well, you both give each other, the
He's
mutual.
gonna grip extra hard.
Yeah, he grips you up extra hard.
Right.
Well, if you don't have any place to stay for the night, me and the missus would love to have you over.
PTS mode.
Oh, there you can get a threesome in.
It's always good to have a fellow a proper man of the cloth to lead grace. After the passing of our young son, of course, she hasn't felt quite the same. Terrible mining accident, you see.
Yes, I would be honored.
Splendid! And he'll, just tell you where it is. You can easily just do that in your spare time.
Great.
So, yeah, that's your first day. Of course, that is everyone's first day. Saber, your first day was quite successful of learning how to pray. And you got your results. Cadus, you just... Okay, apparently Chris is just a dumbass. His words, not mine.
I got confused about which Chris you meant for a sec.
I don't see why not both, but okay.
Oh no, I think you're being messaged by a different Chris.
Which Chris?
What do you think?
I know 7 different Chris's, Bianca! You have to be clear!
The one on the server, dipshit.
The one in this room with us right now?
No, the other one.
Oh my god.
There's only 2 Chris's in the server.
You mean Seraph?
Yes.
Like I said, that statement still would have applied. Fucking... Ah!
Shut up.
I'm going to strangle you. Fucking protective services. This isn't a joke. This is an actual threat. I'm a danger to society. But, but yes. So, the rest of you convene for the evening to gather and exchange information if you guys wanted to. I'm on the verge of fucking killing myself, but we've only been at this for 3 hours, so I can go for another few hours. I'm gonna put my phone down now that we can actually focus. Cadus, you're people watching. Saber, you were praying.
Yes,
Yes.
having fun experimenting, for sure.
Indeed. Charles, you were trying to arrange a threesome? I don't know. And yeah. And
No.
Chris was just shouting, "How to break Warforged!" Was just shouting that out of a book because he doesn't know how to read.
I assume if you paint yourself gray, they'll think you're one of them.
Of course. Gray! In the Warforged culture, gray is the best color.
God damn it.
I'd much rather do that voice than that other one. So that's day one. Well, that's evening one. Does anyone wish to share their experiences with one another, or are you guys just going to continue to stay away from each other for 3 days?
Well, no.
Depends. For Alba, it depends who she bumps into. She's going to be finding work all over, either fixing Warforged or other machines.
Yeah. So, Alba's just kind of wandering around with her tool bag, just happy.
I'm gonna do mechanic stuff.
Yeah, let's see what you got there. Is a broken prostate.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Text to me. So does anyone want to accidentally run into each other, or do I have to force everyone's hand?
Well, I'm kind of like sticking in one location doing my meditation.
Sure. Well,
So if anyone runs
to
into me,
everyone
people
else,
are-
you're just kind of blue screened of death, essentially.
Well, no, I'm not gonna be doing it like constantly. I'm gonna like take breaks, move around, but I'm kind of trying not to. I don't know, because like I said, it's I'm contemplating. I'm kind of like having my a religious moment, I guess.
Yeah, you're having your religious awakening. So you're sitting at a bar while music is playing, just drinking, I don't know, motor oil.
I don't think I'm gonna go out of my way to address someone, but if another person comes to me, I'll definitely talk to them about it.
Yep. So Alba, you of course pass by Saber because he is a robot and you're working on robots, and he does have a broken finger, so that does kind of, connect. Charles, of course, you eventually leave the church. All of this, of course, is observed by Cadus, and eventually, Cadus, you do stumble upon Lage, who is in a library just shouting at books. How to break War Forged! As he continues to shout at the book.
Seriously.
I would probably
Shouting at
walk up to him at that point and go, you realize that's not how books work, right?
He's been at this for around 6 hours.
You could have told me that 6 hours ago.
Yeah, if it doesn't take the whole 3 days to do that thing, I might go shop and pick up some spell scrolls if there are any around, or at least just the one, I should say. I imagine they're fairly expensive. I have money.
Everyone should have money. Y'all had about like 500 gold before the game started.
No, I don't have any money.
That's my point.
I plainly
We all-
stated because you all
He
arrived
wasn't here,
super
Brian.
Oh, well, you
Oh.
all arrived super early, so everyone got 500
Oh, okay, that's nice.
as a way to subtly encourage. Hey, show the fuck up on time.
We were all given money and then some time that we could use to spend it, and I'm thinking of getting one spell scroll, maybe.
I want one spell, please.
One. I just want to see what they got, and then I'll pick whatever. It should be a fairly simple transaction. It's like
Let me see what the fuck, just to make sure I have your thing properly. Nope, that's Cadus. That's not Charles. There's Charles. Spell scroll?
just yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah,
If they
no.
have those.
I don't see why they wouldn't have specific spells. Bianca, get the fuck off my server.
What? What?
Pick me.
What? We're taking the
I kicked and then misclicked.
y'all were
No. No. I just wanted to kick her. 'Cause it was fun.
like, I guess they needed a private.
No, I just wanted to do this. That's all.
Do that too often, and she may not pop back in.
She will. She's like an abused puppy at this rate. It's kind of sad.
No, don't say
But
that.
she's my adorable, cute abused puppy.
Speaking of, I'm
Oh my god.
going AFK for a minute or two. I'll be right back.
Alrighty then. So does anyone want to accidentally run into Saber? Saber.
Well, if
Several
I
people
notice
pass by you.
people, if I notice
Oh.
while I'm working, I might wave, but I'm kind of like too engrossed in what I'm doing. So
All right.
I mean, I'm just being quiet. Like I said, I'll stay in the room. I'll be in the bar and people watch and just contemplate my life.
But I hope you
I don't know
caught
if
that.
anyone.
why are we
I hope
here?
anyone picks up. If anyone picks up that I'm having a existential crisis, that's on them.
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Why are we here? Just to beat the fuck out of a retard named Bianca.
No,
Talking about Obama's and urethras.
I didn't say. No one's gonna get that reference.
Of course not, 'cause they're not retarded like you.
Oh.
Regardless, Alba, do you approach anybody? Do you approach Saber? If not, then nobody approaches Saber. Because nobody said they wanted to.
I mean, I'm sure someone
Well, nobody does.
maybe. It's just Alpha's oh, work.
Alright, so Alba's engulfed in her work. Cadis is off, I don't know, masturbating. Charles is having lunch with a very feminine dude and his actually very good looking wife and their dead son. El-
So the dead son's just hanging around in the living room, I guess.
Yeah, zombie. Technically, it wouldn't be far fetched, but no, not an actual zombie. No, but they do have his.
Okay, I'm back.
They do have his urn up on the mantle. So, yeah. But yeah, Cadis, seeing as you're the only one who actually can apparently interact with Saber outside of Lage, who is screaming at books. It's up to you. Do you want to interact with him or no? He appears to be having some kind of moment. A possible.
I'm pretty sure
crisis.
after walking up to Lage and go, that's not how books work, I'd actually start helping him with his research.
Okay then. So Saber, nobody questions you about your religious experience.
Actually,
Question.
It's okay. I had plenty of time of RP in the beginning of the game. Everyone else can have their moment to shine.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure every time I've seen Saber, he's just standing there, acting like he's waiting for time to tick down.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Saber knows how to break Warforged if I ask him.
Sure. Do you want to go ask Saber about how do you kill Warforged?
It might not end well for me, so I'm gonna do it.
You're a barbarian. You can tag him.
Yeah, I'll ask him. How do you kill a Warforged? If I wanted to do something like that. Not saying I do.
So go ahead. RP between each other. Saber,
So-
what is your character currently doing right now as Lage approaches?
Just people watching in the bar. When he does approach, I just kind of turn my head and look at him.
So, I guess I'm gonna sit down with him. I'm assuming he's sitting down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna say in like a hushed voice. If one wanted to kill a Warforged, how would they do that?
How would you kill a human?
Usually, hitting them on the head works.
The same can be applied to a Warforged, though decapitation works best.
Got it. Thanks.
But
Don't know why there was no books about this.
Because, in a sense, we're no different than you. If you beat us enough in the body, we will shut down. If you take off our head, we will shut down. No different than you. If you run us through our chest enough times, as I would against you, we would die.
Okay, but what if I wanted
Some of
to
us
like?
might go to an afterlife. Some of us might be turned into ghosts and haunt you.
As Saber
You
is
wanna
realizing,
really
oh
haunt
fuck,
you,
if I know to be.
Do you want to be haunted by a ghost?
No, I don't think so.
What would a Warforged ghost look like?
Lage, you suddenly get the realization he might not actually be talking to you and might be talking to himself.
Could one of us become undead, like Eve was? Could there be a Warforged vampire? How would you kill a Warforged vampire?
Yeah, at this point,
All of us are made out of wood.
Saber's
Well,
not even looking at you anymore.
How would you kill a Warforged vampire?
Okay, I think I'm gonna go, and then I look back. I kind of walk back to Cadiz.
Cadiz, what are you doing? Urge you accompany Lage.
I'm now stuck in the contemplation of how to kill a Warforged vampire.
I'd probably still be at the library, wondering where the heck Leeds just went off to, because I took my eyes off of him for a minute and he went quiet.
I'm freaking out now because
Lage has returned to the library. Then
I'm freaking out now because now I need to figure out how to kill a Warforged ghost and a Warforged vampire, and now it's just too much. I think I'm gonna take a nap.
At that point in time, when you ask that of Cadiz, he goes, "Well, fire works. Fire works very well at killing most things, especially undead. Though, if you could find somebody who could hit them with that holy magic stuff, that works a little better."
Got it.
Oh,
you're a barbarian. Like, holy shit, how am I gonna get holy magic?
You know what? I can't find a
this
video.
This is just a domino effect of problems.
I can't find a video, but I remember it made me think about that part if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device and that Mechanicus is like asking questions to himself over and over.
Our legs actually powered by tiny snotlings.
Yeah, that shit.
What does it mean to go? Don't get it wrong. I too enjoy the fornication with toasters. But yes. So who wants to help Lage discover what it takes to kill a Warforged ghost and a vampire?
I think Cadiz already said fire, right?
Yeah. Or holy magic. Where's Charles? Just starts running around looking for Charles. Just barges in the
holy magic.
Barges in the middle of prayer. Charles, we got to kill Warforged ghost
and vampires.
There are Warforged vampires. So Saber quickly sprints his own madness, which is always fun. But yeah. So that was day 1. Day 2 and 3, of course, are pretty, mundane. Overall, the third day eventually comes. What do now, niggas?
Well, I'm still my nat 20 kicks in, but I guess I continue my contemplation in prayer and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
of course, you could always opt to fail those 2 nat 20s if you wanted to. With that new information you've got.
I thought that the nat 20s were against the infection of the virus.
Well, you've also gained new information about said virus.
Can I opt with it being a nat 20 that it connects to the deity of my choice?
I will say that you can choose to resist any primal negative effects.
That sounds good.
Okay. So I will type to you what that happens while you have while I induce another existential crisis.
Understood.
Yeah. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm still working. How much gold do I make?
Go ahead and roll me. Tinker check.
Because it depends how many broken shit there is.
Yeah,
there's probably plenty of broken shit around.
It's a mining town. Everything's broken. It's literally held together with the hopes and prayers and blood.
I'm going to attempt to fix everything in this town in the days that I have left. So, just one roll.
Go ahead and roll me 3.
Ah.
Do 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 do. Do do do. 14 gold. Sorry, I have to be careful with my.
I'll be back.
Yeah, everyone take 5 minutes while I fucking work this out.
I know what I'm looking for in terms of that stealth roll.
Yes, go ahead and message me on that. And yeah, there you go. Headphones dead or something?
Alright, tried to keep that very simple.
Give me a sec, I have to double check. Oh god. So, Saber, that's what you get. And half the party's gone. Cool.
I'm still here, but keep the clicking noises down. I can keep myself muted when I'm not talking.
Fair enough. So yeah, I believe Saber's probably going to be having another fucking existential crisis moment now. So while he's doing that, what is Cadiz doing? Because the first day people watched.
Well, if not the party members flagging down for assistance on anything, he's probably going to.
Probably going to.
Well, let's start with: is there any place where you can pick up any kind of magical knowledge?
They would have the church, but they wouldn't really be worshipping magic users per se, so nothing that would be out in the open, because the black market always provides.
Okay, so no real place to pick up anything new for arcane.
Not without making certain contacts, no.
Which Cadiz is too oblivious to do.
Yeah. If I could summarize this party, it would just simply fall down to, what's subtlety? Just the question. In
And since
character.
there's
In character.
no obvious... Well, there's probably no real Warforged presence in town.
It's mixed. There are Warforged that are, quote, having...
AFK for a little bit.
Yeah, they're having, quote, days off.
In other words, they're in for scheduled maintenance.
Yeah. So, outside of that, I mean, Although, of course, based off of what the other Warforged has told you, never know.
Well, I haven't seen any with any of the markings that I would be expecting for followers of Mr. Chaos there.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you also don't know the followers of the Chaos's mark yet. You only know the one of Isaiah.
Okay. And there haven't been any behaving extremely erratically, so I don't have that to go off of.
Nope. So how do you find a maddened Warforge in a crowd? Call the greatest detective alive.
Yeah, but he's on a different continent.
Yeah.
And Cadiz doesn't even know he exists.
I mean, not consciously. Kitties may have read comic books as a child. You never know.
I was about to say, even if he did, he wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I wish there was just
So that guy definitely gives Major Hildebrand vibes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Without any of that info, I don't have much to go off of.
Right. So what does Cadiz do with his spare time then?
Well, if he can find some kind of herbalist, he might take the time to craft some potions.
Mm-hmm. Herbs and such, of course, are always easy enough. Herbalists specifically. Seeing as it is a mountainous region, herbalists are all over the fucking place. Because if you can't afford, proper, quote unquote, proper healing, you go to the church.
Mm-hmm.
And, because the miners more or less just go, huh, so you want us to worship that god, right? Well, that god didn't fix my broken arm, so fuck you. Fuck you, I'm going to this guy, basically. So they kind of spit in the face of that type of stuff.
Yeah, outside of working herbs into potions, the only other thing Cadiz would do would be spend time with Lupa while waiting for the party to flag him down for whatever they need him for.
For the inevitable moment where they need help.
Because he knows it's coming.
It's always coming.
He's been around these people long enough.
Eh, you downright say you'd probably be almost friends with them. But regardless. Yeah, no, Lupa's happy to get some attention from you. Yeah, she puts out her tongue like, and, does the dog noises and shit. In her spare time, you do find out that she's basically just been chasing other animals around.
To which my only response is, have fun, just don't get caught by somebody who's going to hurt you, okay?
Bark, bark. I think we're just waiting for players to get back now so we can fucking continue this shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
God. It's been a very offbeat day. It's not just me, right? Like, it's just been a very offbeat day. Is that just me?
Yeah.
I think considering that this weekend I got suckered into building a entire swing set / play set for my son's daycare. I am feeling like I've been out in the sun too long and my calves hurt like hell.
Very
my
fun.
hamstrings as well.
Well, seeing as Cadis needs someone to help, I assume eventually he would have encountered Saber. And Saber, how are you taking this new message?
One sec, I'm chewing on something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am less scared of vampire on Warforged right now. I feel a little bit more at peace. I feel like, so how can I help you, Caleb?
That's actually a question I've had for you.
I want to help. No, I'm going to help you. It's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's a Canadian standoff.
I feel I have discovered. I might have discovered a purpose for myself.
Oh?
Become a monk.
That I might not be as cursed as I once thought.
Well, I think you're the only one that thought you were cursed, so...
But I am gaining greater understanding and feel that the battle between the two sermons will not be as bad as we think it is. I feel this might be the start of something wonderful.
Care to elaborate?
I feel that what will become, no matter who wins this battle, will not be as chaotic as I once thought. That there will be be far more pleasant.
So, it's not so much just a...
It won't be a violent
Melding
revolution, but that does not mean that violence will be involved. It will be more of an ascension.
And that translates to what exactly?
That it's not going to be overnight. This is going to be a slow and steady progress. Our fears of something happening quickly, I feel, might be exaggerated.
Granted, you are also going off of a resource you guys have all deemed to be crazy. I'd just like to remind you all of that.
No, I've not told them what my...
No. Not your thing. Not your thing, but you guys basically went to a guy who, above game, showed signs of multiple personality disorder. and just took everything he said at face value. I just want to reiterate that. Who is also a preacher of not just one god, but of both gods. Just to put everything back onto the table and into perspective.
Jax does bring up a fair question. Will that happen to you?
No. I am who I am. I just have better understanding of what the situation is. I do not seek powers from these gods. Just understanding.
What I'm saying is, will what happened with that Warforged, how he seemed to be not just one, but two people, be a thing that might happen to you?
No, it will not. And I believe that it will happen far less often once the merge is complete, no matter who wins.
And above board, now all I can think of is the Roman Greek god from Rick Riordan's series.
Mm. Oh my god. I shouldn't be to start. Oh, I just start. Who the fuck messaged me? People have messaged me. Okay, focus. Oh geez, 3 different messages. Oh, okay, sorry. I just caught that that thing. Of course, I will be using the abbreviation. Just understand that with Omni.
And the computer blacked out, which means I'm gonna have to restart it.
Yeah, this one's a bit sloppier, but it's trying to answer a question the way it knows how. So. Alright, somebody's eating, and somebody just said K. Alrighty then. I hope that answered your question properly. Admittedly a bit confusing, but it's a lesser god. It doesn't know how to do full out vocal communications of just yes or no answers. But I think part of it got answered, so I'm gonna call it a win. So. Did everyone just die, or am I going deaf?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
Here.
Just making sure.
Looking for well, not just for the others, pretty much just for something to happen. I've already told you my plans up until the group
Yeah,
is up
so
again.
do you want to go over what your plan will be then, as subtly as possible?
Oh, I'm not gonna use it yet. It's for just general travel purposes.
Ah, okay. Fair
Pretty
enough. Fair. Okay, now I understand. Yeah, fair enough. I had to think on it for a second and like put all the pieces together because I'm I'm juggling about 5 different story points right now. But I like it, so it's all good. I'm enjoying myself. I mean, I wish there wasn't so much dead air, but whatever. Can't be beggars can't be choosers. We've been off for like 2 fucking weeks. I'm just happy everyone showed the fuck up.
Well, I think we got a lot accomplished.
Hell yeah,
through
you guys
RP.
did. And it also proves, hey, you don't have to have combat every fucking session. Granted, the Barbarian doesn't like that, but they also just spent 6 hours screwing at a bookshelf, so.
I don't think fun for me either. As time has proven.
Yeah.
So.
I think we're gonna get into something soon. Who knows?
Yes.
Not this session, but next.
Very much next session is going to be, hopefully, much better.
I also like that Lage's whole personality is that he's bad at everything. So
I mean,
that's
the whole
fun.
reason you're adventuring, if you recall, is because you have anger issues.
Yeah.
And the wife was just like, hey, stop it. And yet somehow you're afraid of like this like under 200-pound woman. Probably because she's bore you like 3 kids.
To which I point out Bulma and Chi-Chi.
Yeah, basically. Good pussy fucking break, nigga. I still love that Bulma apparently fucked so good. She pacified Vegeta. Like, even before he knew that he had a son, he just became like a full-ass whipped bitch.
To be fair, he didn't have anything else to compare it to.
Yeah, so she fucking popped his cherry and just put him on a leash, and he was like, yes, ma'am. But yeah.
Also, Bulma kind of pacified the god of destruction too, so.
Yeah, I guess. She might just have that aura about her.
Through less carnal methods.
Yeah. I mean, she was just like, look, you like food, right? Boom, eat, bitch.
And with Vegeta, it's a combination. Hey, here's food. Hey, we have this technology that we can use to help you get stronger. And we want you to test how easy it is for you to break it.
Actually, I think maybe Goku might be directly responsible for that, though. Because in Dragon Ball, like, fucking Bulma and fucking Goku travel around a lot, so she knows a lot about Saiyans. Like, hell, she probably knows more about Saiyans than Goku does. Because, outside perspective and everything. And, scientific method.
To be fair, who doesn't know more about Saiyans than Goku?
Fair point, but still, my point is... The point being of, like, if Goku wasn't a total fucking retard, I mean.
He was, 20-something before he learned that Saiyans actually existed?
True.
Almost 30-something?
Bulma probably already knew. It was like, oh yeah, we did that for, like, years.
Well, we knew you weren't human, so now I can actually put a name to this classification we've been building up on you.
Also, if you recall, they also called King Piccolo a demon.
Yeah,
so
turns out he's a slug.
There's a lot of retconning.
No.
Or is that written from the start?
He was referred to as a demon back in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Because when Kami split,
right,
due to the darkness he had encountered, a lot of his memories were lost.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of his memories of Namek themselves weren't in existence to begin with during his stay on Earth.
I never read any of the like the deeper shit. So I don't know. I'll take it on
Oh,
face
that was
value.
actually covered in Dragon Ball.
It's been years, my dude. I should rewatch that for the magical girl for the magical girl session.
Yeah, unfortunately, my brain's kind of like a trap for random bullshit like that.
Ah, mine too.
Well, speaking of which, don't forget to send me a link for Anime 5e.
Right. I'm pretty
It
sure.
seems like we're winding down right now.
Yeah, everyone else very basically just fucked off, and I'm just left with my own head. And I was like, eh.
I was making soup.
Oh no, there was just I didn't want to hog the interaction of anything.
Well, it was a very, saber focused session.
I was about to say, this entire arc is very saber-focused, which is perfectly fine. However, since Cadiz is not exactly mechanically inclined, he has very little input on this,
Well, I'm trying
nor
to
is he
include
very
everybody.
theologically inclined.
My whole excuse is just simply, hey, we've been away for 2 weeks. I ain't stressing. I'm just happy everyone's here. I'm just happy there's no bad news. And everyone is just present.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to yeet Bianca off into the
I
ocean.
I can't swim, I'll die.
These are acceptable losses.
Plus there are things down, asshole.
He says that, but we all know he'll miss you.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
And you wonder why I hurt you. You wonder why I actively try to hurt you. You wonder why I actively hurt you.
For our culture, Brian.
I'm gonna bludgeon you to death one of these days with like a wrench.
No,
Here it is.
I think you need to go to anger management.
I already did actually.
You need to go back.
Yeah, apparently because some bitch in my fucking class decided, oh, I'm gonna try and, crash the fucking bus. Me punching her in the fucking face, apparently, in front of the principal, was bad form. Bitch cost me a fucking $500 scholarship. Which, granted, isn't a lot of money, but still, free $500. I was set up to get a scholarship.
And that's just the one you know about.
Exactly.
Because if it affected one, you know it affected multiples.
Yeah. So I had to go to anger management classes, which I had to pay for, and then I had to show up in court because the family thought they were going to get some fucking cash out of me. And then when half the bus basically just said, "Yeah, no, we're not supporting you, and if you try to call us in as witnesses, we're standing with him," they didn't even fucking show up to the courthouse. Because guess what happened? I got suspended, and the very next day, she basically ran up to the front of the bus, because I wasn't there, grabbed the wheel, and tried to drive the fucking bus off the fucking road.
Why?
Because she's a crazy bitch.
Alright. I mean, I guess I gathered crazy, but like.
And but no, I was clearly the one who fucked up. Clearly.
Obviously.
Seriously, I'm surprised the principal didn't turn around after that and apologize. I should fucking. I'm just gonna drink because I'm gonna end up marching somewhere and punching somebody.
Let's not do anything that causes mass amounts of paperwork and potential time behind bars.
Yeah, it's just the
What will
principal.
Bianca do without you?
Move on. We already talked about that. Anyway, seeing as we're basically wound down for the time, and I'm getting progressively more drunk, I'm gonna call it here. We had a good session, lots of roleplay, lots of clues and other shit unlocked. Did that link work, by the way? Saber? Did that link work properly?
Yes, it did, and I'm gonna have a good read. Sorry, I was in the middle of drinking my whiskey.
Ah, nice. Again, I'm drinking some cherry flavored bourbon.
There you go.
Yeah, I mixed it with lemonade too, so it's extra sweet. Also, it's only a 6 ounce, so I have to make that shit last. But yeah, so I'm going to cut recording here. Any final words anyone wants to say?
No, but thanks. Glad we're all back together and we're
It
playing
is my
regularly
last
again.
day on Earth.
Oh, well,
No, it's not.
Bianca's committing suicide, so. And I can't wait to put my fan back on because fuck this heat.
Yeah, it was nice for a couple days though.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was.
oh, yo, did you guys, Saber, did you get hit with that hurricane rain, by the way?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there was some flash flooding. There was a tornado in Annapolis, but we already got all we got is a lot of rain and thunder.
Went through that.
Because, well, my walls started leaking. So, I've probably...
That's never good. Well,
Yeah.
last year I got a brand new roof on my house, so
Very nice.
that thing's under warranty, bitches.
Very nice. No, but I'm thinking, honestly, I really am just thinking about getting this whole house just torn the fuck down. Just tear